and the Broncos are without all of their quarterbacks. So for that, we bring in our insiders, Chris Mortensen and Adam Schefter. Guys, I doubt you got much sleep last night. A lot going on in the league today. What's the very latest?
Well, good morning, Sam. And in the unprecedented situation unfolding in Denver, here's what happened. Basically, the Broncos quarterback Jeff Driscoll tested positive during the week. The other quarterbacks in the room, Drew Lock, Brett Rippon, Blake Bortles, were not wearing masks. They were deemed high-risk, close contacts and deemed ineligible. So there's all four quarterbacks, the entire quarterback room wiped out. The Broncos spoke with the NFL on Saturday. They tried to have the game moved to Tuesday. The league refused to do that. They tried to have their offensive quality control coach, Brian Calabrese, signed off their coaching staff onto their active roster to play quarterback because he understood the system better than anybody else. They were denied that request. And so in the end, the Broncos will turn to their practice squad wide receiver, Kendall Hinton. He will play quarterback today. And as of Saturday night, the Broncos were in their offices literally diagramming plays, trying to figure out how they could mount yardage today against a tough New Orleans Saints defense. And the reason that the league refused to move this game to Tuesday or any other time is because basically this is a situation where the outbreak was contained, unlike in Baltimore, where the cases have spread and continue to come in this morning. And that's why the league pushed back the game from Thursday night on Thanksgiving to Sunday to now Tuesday. And the league still insists that game is on because the league believes, again, that it was trying to contain the outbreak, which it struggled to do. The latest Ravens to test positive this morning, Mark Andrews, the Pro Bowl tight end, who's a pre-existing diabetic type 1. Matt Judon also tested positive. There are now at least 11 positive tests in Baltimore. There have been 20 players placed on the reserve COVID-19 list. There are at least 10 staffers who have tested positive. But as of now, Mort, this game is still scheduled to be played, and the NFL wants to make sure that game gets in on Tuesday night, Mort.
That's right, Adam. And the San Francisco 49ers were thrown a different COVID-19 curve Saturday when Santa Clara County, where they are headquartered and where Levi Stadium is based, when Santa Clara County issued a suspension of contact sports for the next 3 weeks, effective Monday. Now, they play the Rams today in Los Angeles, but they play the Buffalo Bills a week from Monday night, scheduled for Levi Stadium, and they have one other home game, Washington, the following week after the Bills game. They've been talking to Santa Clara County officials. It doesn't look real promising right now, so the possibilities of them playing in Arizona at State Farm Stadium, where the Cardinals are based. There's no conflicts there with the Cardinals. Las Vegas and Dallas also discussed. But this had been a contingency plan preseason that had been discussed between the team and the county and the league.
And Sam, will have more on the Broncos quarterbacks, the Ravens' positive tests, the Lions firing their head coach and GM, all coming up later in the show.
Yeah, no doubt there is a lot going on today. Look, you're in a wild situation in Denver when you're trying to get your quality control guy to play quarterback with a day's notice. They're strange times for everybody across the board. But, Rex, I think for a lot of people, when they hear you don't have a quarterback, they assume panic sets in from a coach's perspective. But you're telling me there's actually a plan for this. Yeah, there is. As a head coach, what you do, and maybe your team doesn't even realize it, but you have what you call direct runs. And literally, your entire playbook in your run game is out there for you. And all you got to do is just snap it to your running back. Have the quarterback. He doesn't exist in that play. You put him somewhere else. You can put him at the point of attack. You can put him backside. You can do anything you want. Extra linemen, extra running backs. Makes no difference. Trust me, I can tell you this. That team, like, we get it. They're not going to throw the ball. They can't throw the ball. We get it. But, man, they are gonna pound the football, turn back the clock about 50 years. This is your dream game, right? And this really is a dream game because, to me, the whole team is excited to play this one. They can claim they're not. They already got a built-in excuse. No. They are excited to play this one. I can guarantee you that. Later, Randy and I are going to talk about it. We talked about it last night. I was told by a league one time that, my quarterback had to start. I wasn't going to throw any passes, so we ran it every snap, and we were up 14-0
when we put the backup in. So we'll see what happens.
Do you blitz him every play? Do you blitz him every play?
I don't know,
or
Teddy,
just
do
maybe
you?
9 out of 10? I mean that's just the thing, because you got to expect the runs, right, Coach?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
I mean, do they use running backs at the wildcat position? I mean, this is really something we talked about at the beginning of the year about losing an entire positional group because of COVID. That's just something you just can't anticipate. Try to get a coach to play quarterback is just something that baffles me.
Crazy.
I mean, defensive players, though, I mean, I'm not thinking about getting sacks anymore, rushing the passer or anything like that, because, I mean, I just got to be able to stop the run. Do they use Lindsey as a quarterback? Royce Freeman? Do they use, Melvin Gordon? And also, if I'm a DB, just be ready for one play. You got to be ready. It's like, I may not have any type of business, but there may be that one play. Well, all of a sudden he's going to block me, but all of a sudden he's going deep. Yeah, that's what
you better not get burned by somebody in the pass game.
Rex, you were talking about, a player. You're talking about the wide receiver. You moved to quarterback Brad Smith. I see some similarities in a guy like Kendall Hinton because of him understanding the routes, where the player's supposed to be, and how to throw the ball. But one thing I like about it, the uncertainty for the New Orleans Saints. One thing that I'll give you a statistic about the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are #1. Their defense is #1 in the National Football League in penalty. So you're going in this game at Mile High Stadium. Where are all the eyes at in this game at the quarterback position? So the New Orleans Saints, y'all lead the league defensively in penalties. They have to be safe and understand how to attack the quarterback. Teddy, you talking about that one pass where they might slide past you? If they are passing the ball, the Saints have to be careful about attacking the quarterback because they lead the league in that.
Yeah, for that Saints defense, it's all about the element of surprise today because they don't know what they're preparing for. Matt, I want to bring you in here because I know you actually called some Wake Forest games the last couple of years, so you actually got to see Kendall Hinton, albeit not necessarily at the quarterback position. What do you know about this guy?
Yeah, that's right, Sam. I did see him at the wide receiver position, but the Dave Clawson offense, that Wake Forest offense, a lot of zone reads. I call it a ride read. So he's got a lot of experience in the backfield with ball handling and cadence and those types of things. But I'd also just like to say the offensive line coach in Denver is Mike Munchak. And when I played for him in Tennessee, he had a contingency plan, just like Rex said. And that contingency plan, if we dressed 2 quarterbacks, our emergency quarterback was going to be Chris Johnson, CJ2K. So I would expect those same kind of plays with Kendall Hinton at quarterback. And if you are going to go empty formation or wildcat formation with all the different running backs that Denver has, I would expect in that situation, if they do what Munchak did in Tennessee, I would expect a silent count because they probably trust Kendall Hinton with cadence. They probably don't trust that the cadence will be consistent with all the different running backs that are in there. So just like Rex said, they will have a plan, and I do believe that the Broncos will believe because of this plan, we might be able to sneak a win here against the New Orleans Saints when nobody's given us a chance.
As was the plan talked about before in the past? Of course, you got to have the plan, but if the plan is now, okay, this is my plan if this would have happened, and then you try to implement it like last night, or when you just have 2 days to do it, that's just the thing the whole Denver Broncos have to worry about in terms of this is something totally new to what they game plan for the entire week. So I understand the coaching staff, but implementing that plan in like 36 hours, that's going to be something to see.
Well, in a positive note for this Broncos offense, strange to say this, but Kendall Hinton has actually thrown a touchdown pass in a game more recently than Taysom Hill. We're going back to 2016 and 2017, which is just wild across the board. This game's going to be interesting to watch. Let's get to our opening kicks, what you're most excited to see today. Randy, start us off.
Well, Sam, let's take it to the Sunshine State of Florida. The defending Super Bowl champs, Kansas City, are going to Tampa. But I'm looking for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Make them count.